Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh to all students. So I hope everybody is fine at your own place. And today we will focus to chapter 5. The title is The Role of Business in Development Agenda. So as we know, as a human being, everybody have their needs in life, and through that, people make a business and trade goods through the business activities. Okay, what are the development needs for and the financial resources? Okay, so development should be supported by the ability of the sources. So among the indispensable source is the source of finance, of course. So the financial resource available should be employed in order to produce optimum benefits for most of the population in the community. So without financial resources, of course, we cannot form any sort of activities, especially that involve the business activities. So the financial resources of the society and the government is limited, and sometimes they cannot provide to everyone in the society. So the major problem to solve is too many people that need the sources from the government, but we have the very quite limited cost. So the wisdom and ability in managing existing product and looking for opportunities to create new sources of finance is essential to determine the smoothness of planned development activities. So how we do this? So there must be an effort or solution to solve this scenario in our country, in our society. So improvement initiatives have been undertaken in an integrated manner, including the role of the public sector, private sector, and also NGOs. So the implication shows that there are various tools and channels aimed at implementing the program of recovery or improvement of socio-economic inequalities. So there are many trust funds, for example, that are active to do this help for the poor. And also, if you ever heard about Tekun National, whereby Tekun produce and develop entrepreneurs through easy access through microcredit financing, and also Amanah Ikhtiar Malaysia that provide microcredit financing to fund activities that can increase household revenue, and also some of the implementation coming from the corporate social responsibility by the big GRC's company that contribute a part of their fund to fund the project for the to the poor society. Okay. In addition, efforts to support the disadvantaged groups and communities in improving the level of standard of living needs a substantial amount of funds. So strong financial resources and ongoing source of funds is needed for the achievement of social activities is not interrupted due to the lack of capital. So traditional financial sources such as the provision of grants or government budgets, donation from the public, and corporate donation are not enough to solve various and endless social issues. So how we want to solve this kind of problem, or if not solve the whole problem, maybe it is a part of the community, a small community, or a really poor community. So we refer this discussion to figure 1, whereby it can be solved in two ways. What is called, the first one is a direct solution, and second one is an indirect solution. So if you can see in figure 1, okay, from the social business, there are a direct solution and there is indirect solution. So what does it mean by direct solution? So direct solution is a business activities as a platform to solve a social problem, whereby we create a business activities as a platform to solve a social problem. So example that I will discuss is Alevin and Telecenter project. And the second one is an indirect solution. So indirect solution is a business activities as a platform to generate fund or income. So example that I will give is Wakaf An-Nur Corporation and also the community chest. Okay. Direct contribution occurred through business activities that are specially designed for implementing or promoting a particular social agenda. So business activities of this type can be functioned to earn profit and self-interest. So instead, it has a moral element and able to solve community problem. So at the same time, this business activity can earn profit and also have the self-interest of the particular individual in the society. And at the same time, it can create a profit. At the same time, also, it can solve the community problem of the B40, for example. So many of today's business firms have a welcoming community and high moral element as well, because they have some allocation to give for the corporate social responsibility. And through this fund, this kind of activity of the to generate, to earn profit and for the self-interest of the poor, it can generate some activities, in economic activities for the poor and help them. Okay, the fact that business and social goal is not something mutually exclusive, because they are growing together and they exist simultaneously through the concept of social business. So it's supposed that business and social goals should be together to help the poor community, the poor society. So for example, over here, a business which was created specifically to provide job opportunities to the less fortunate, or business that aims to help market the products manufactured by rural people who are less fortunate. So one example that I want to raise here is the marketing of the craft product by Alevin. So you can refer more through the website that I have put over there. So what Alevin done? So Alevin has established a special website for the business market to assist Sabah's native craft product. So through the seed fund provided by Multimedia Development Corporation, the typical commercial market was successfully established, and the marketing site that was used by underprivileged group dedicated to market their products and nicknamed eBay for the poor. So income from operation of the website marketing is small, and the owner gave most of the proceeds to the craftsmen involved of the Sabah native craft product. For years, talented artists across the group have struggled to find markets for their handmade product because they live in a remote places sometimes. So their incomes that whenever they sell their product, the incomes they gain are small and stagnant, because there is no business opportunity, because they do not link their product to the better market. So these people that produce crafts, a very quality craft, handcraft, resort to selling their good to the tourists or international import or export companies, which then resell their good at huge markup. But sure enough, the aboriginal people, they have a very little in their hand, because they're selling to the third party that taking their product. So what Alevin did here, Alevin connect craft sellers in poor communities directly with consumers in wealthier markets. So they're cutting out layers of the middleman there. So producers receive up to 85% of the sale price of goods sold through the company's low cost online sales and supply chain infrastructure, and they have a greater proportion of the profit than their competitors. So this is how Elevin uh, help the Aborigines people in Sabah that have a very quality handcraft to sell. Similarly, Telecenter project, spearheaded by the Ministry of Rural Development Multimedia Commission, the Ministry of Energy, Water and Communication, and the state government in rural areas. So, Telecenter project is the premise of cyber cafes operating in rural areas with the aim of facilitating internet connection to meet the goal of establishing a community of knowledge-based rural society. So over here, the rural people also have a chance to use and to learn how to use the internet connection. They also able to get the knowledge of the, I mean, to seek the knowledge and also to share the knowledge or to have the communication from their rural area to the other people outside. So this telecenter project set the cyber cafes in certain areas, the certain remote areas, for the people also to have this kind of facilities to communicate to the world. So another indirect business is that Wakaf An-Nur. So Wakaf An-Nur here is indirectly involvement occurs when medium businesses serve as a tool to generate a consistent income and are then used to finance the activities and programs of socio-economic welfare. So, such as the Homeless Animal Rescue Project, Project 8, victims of natural disaster. However, the activities of Wakaf An-Nur, which has enabled the social welfare activities undertaken, because Wakaf An-Nur, they form the clinic and also the dialysis center to help the society. But at the same time also, Wakaf An-Nur Corporation also provide micro entrepreneurs business to grow their business to boost the income and economy of the Muslim through Sharia compliant financing. So what I want to say here, Wakaf An-Nur Corporation also provide financing, microfinancing to the poor to help they increase their income, the household income, through the Sharia compliant financing. And this can be referred more from the Wakaf An-Nur Corporation website for the further details information. So Wakaf An-Nur also have the what we call it An-Nur Corporation Endowment, and through this they create charitable activities to mobilize revenue, and whereby the revenue was generated through their company's shareholding of Johor Corporation, and the dividend yield of the shareholding is collected and used for charitable activities plan. So the practice has been done by the community chairs as well. There's another NGO named Community Chairs, but the community chairs focus more on the efforts to help the vernacular school in Malaysia. So community chairs took a business entity, and the result of the company's business is channeled to the community chairs to fund the social welfare activities of the vernacular school targeted in Malaysia. So the understanding of the concept of social business very necessary to enable it to continue to grow and develop as an important entity to form the socio-economic development of the country, or to help increase the socio-economic development of the country. So you can read through this topic through the textbook that we use for this subject, and I hope there's a lot of example given, but students have to explore more details and read more details, because all the NGOs or corporation that I mentioned that involved in the social business, there are more details information in their own website. So to conclude for this chapter 5, what I want to say is that the holistic development cannot be achieved if the benefit of development is still on selective basis. And comprehensive development requires innovative approaches and strong financial resources. So financially stable and consistent are very necessary to finance socio-economic welfare of the community. So if the financial aspect is weak, then the goal of widening the scope of the development benefits generated are difficult. Therefore, activity based on business potential to be an instrument to support and accelerate the process to achieve development, especially the concept of social business based on Islamic understanding, is very crucial. Okay, with that, student, I hope there's a bit briefing on the chapter 5, and you have to read again this slide and listen again. And also your point of reference here is the textbook that is I already mentioned in the lecture before, that student have to read. This one in the textbook is in chapter 1. Okay, I will see you again in the next chapter. With that, I end the lecture today with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.